Thanks for joining us again. Episode 6, Jared. We are right near the end of Slasher Season 4. Interesting episode this week. I personally enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah.
It was very gross. Fuck.
Correct.
There was some pretty gross stuff going on. I did like that once again we got a sort of a backstory of a character that we kind of put out there as being a potential. And that was useful. And it sort of showcased some of the theories. I think it solidified a couple of theories for me, or one particular theory. But overall, I was pretty happy with the way it played out. How did you take it?
Yeah, enjoyed it a lot. Absolutely, it upped the stakes in some of the more brutal elements of the show. But yeah, getting to stretch out a little bit with some of these characters and getting a bit of an insight into a couple of the characters that we mentioned hadn't really been brought out yet was pretty good. And I think part of what I'm enjoying is everyone has gone to these levels of, like, we've got multiple people now that have killed somebody. We've got some really nasty stuff going on between these characters. So it really muddies the waters a little bit. Like, when you see some of this stuff going on, it really starts to make you think, is it or isn't it? You know, makes you start to doubt yourself a little bit. So I think they've done a really good job of throwing that into the sort of whodunit.
Yeah, that's fair. I think they've tried to sort of give everyone that, that cold, heartless type of mentality because of the family and who they are. And I think that has actually worked quite well.
Because I was a little bit sceptical early on when it was Florence doing it with the wood chipper. I know neither of us were really big fans of that. But then as we go along, it started to there's a multiple characters that have done a bit of that now. And, including when we get into this week's, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but into the theories and the likes and dislikes. We've got somebody like, what's her name? Grace now that's gone in and she killed Christy as a mercy killing. But she's still gone and killed somebody. Yeah. And now you've got a few characters that have sort of got their hands dirty a little bit.
Yeah. And that helps. That helps keep the sort of the spotlight not quite on someone in particular. It's making it difficult to sort of pick who it might be. But my theories are, I still feel one of my theories has got some legs. I've slightly rejigged it this week, but I feel it's still useful. I still feel it's there. So, getting to the pros. Afra cutting Florence's tongue off.
Yeah,
and
rough.
then fucking eating it. I think that's pretty nasty all round.
It was very nasty. I also liked, while that was going on, they found one of the few credible reasons that you would go out alone in a situation like this, where Christy was saying, I need to go and find Afra. Essentially, the parental kind of relationship that they then go and sort of, blow up as we go further into the episode. But one of the few reasons that you would venture out on your own. And I also liked when she's asking everyone to go out. Everyone's like, no, fuck no, I'm not going out there. I felt that was a fair reaction to most of it.
My oath it was. I'm not going out there, fuck you.
Yeah, so it was good that the other people were saying that, but then she still goes and does it, and you can buy it. You're like, okay, well, as a parent, you probably fucking would.
I don't know about you though, but I'm taking the fucking paintball gun. I reckon that would have been
I'm loaded
just
up.
as bad.
I'm taking everything. I got something strapped to the back. I got a knife in the pocket. I'm going out looking like fucking Home Alone or something. Like, I'm not just wandering out there.
No, of course not.
I'm definitely not calling out. I'm going to be a little bit try to be a little bit stealthy. I'm not running out there singing out and letting everyone know I'm out there.
I'm definitely going into stealth mode. I'm covering myself in fucking mud like Arnie.
Yeah.
Hiding in the bushes.
And then I'm walking out and bumbling straight into the bloody gentleman's park.
You never saw me. I'm grabbing the nearest tree and going, you never saw me.
I'm kind of taking a leaf out of Jim Carrey's book and I can't hit a moving target and fucking shuffling around.
Yeah, true.
I think I would be fair game.
Yeah, I think I'd be done pretty quick. She then sort of goes off and starts stabbing her.
Yeah.
Which I thought was another interesting, and it sort of plays out a little bit more as the episode goes along. We find out more about her, which showcases some of her issues. Is the best way to put it, I think. And it's not just fucking eating bird shit. He's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, there's a few more. The peak is low on the list, I think. Are we now led to believe that the Pika is she's pretending to have Pika, so she doesn't need to be eating bird shit?
Look,
it's a choice.
let me put it to you this way: with my years of detective experience, the Pika was a red herring. Pika's a herring. Okay, let's move on.
Your years of experience had you fucking hooked into that herring, getting the evidence sorted out, like.
Mate, I fucking pickled that herring from day one.
You wouldn't listen to anybody. You're saying, listen to me. This little pile of bird shit is the key to blowing this thing wide
open. You know what though? Here I am telling you that Pika was a red herring, but I'm still fucking trumpeting David Cronenberg still alive.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got my priorities straight.
Yeah.
Now.
Sorry, just sticking with Florence.
Yeah.
I think freeing her just so you can kill her on the art display was a nice touch as well.
Yeah, and it ties into my theory.
It wasn't a surprise at all. Like, as soon as she got let free, you knew exactly what was going to happen. But it was kind of satisfying. It was what you expected, but it was satisfying enough. And a bit of a, again, another moment where you were kind of like, oh, shit.
Yeah. But also, she was a cunt of a thing, so it was time to go. Was it not?
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest.
I think so. I think the acting was becoming a little grating on that one.
Yeah, she'd worn out her welcome, I think, by that stage. Now, Afra's backstory, fleshing that out, it gave us some, I don't know if I'd use the word shades. Quite frankly, it made her look like a fucking psychotic. But
yeah,
that stuff was interesting because she is. Like the shit that she's been doing, just all that stuff about, I need to sleep in mum and dad's bed, and then basically kind of, I don't know, there seemed to be a sense of she wanted to be around dad but not around mum, right? And just some of that weird shit she was doing, standing in the fucking corner of the bedroom at one point, and then...
Yeah, that was excellent. That actually had a little bit of sort of Conjuring and sort of Hereditary vibes.
Yeah.
Where they're not doing much. It's just her kind of standing in the corner, but you're kind of sitting there going, stop it.
Yeah. Look away.
Stop doing that.
Go and eat something. But also the whole thing about digging up the pet and putting it in the...
Yeah.
And cooking it back up. I mean, that shit was fucking weird. Weird.
Yes. And so we're saying that was all put on.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah. Because it's obvious that she's not who she says she is. She's not a certain age.
We're taking that message on the phone as yes.
Yes.
That's legit.
That was with
the rest of it was all the bullshit.
Yes, I think. She's obviously...
Sorry, the rest of it was all bird shit?
Yeah. That she chowed down on with a plomb. Yeah, so I reckon she must be, 20 or 18 or something?
Yeah, it sounds something along those lines.
Yeah, so that was the vibe I got. That she's obviously been putting it all on. It's like that, you've heard stories in the past where, there was a lady who was in high school and she was fucking 28.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
obviously taking a little cue from some other movies that we've seen as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was okay with that. I'm okay with that. And as expected, if that was going to be the case, we're saying that someone else is involved.
Yeah.
So we still have a ways to go there. We also, Adam, I mean, we're still laughing about it and we're still making jokes about it, but we finally got confirmation from the lab.
Exactly.
It was paint and it was not bird shit. So the lab has come back and said, Detective Poirot, it's not bird shit. It is paint.
And I'm
confirmed.
Like, check it again.
It's taken 6 weeks.
Check it again. Thank you.
Yeah. Run the B sample.
we did that. Run the C sample. I don't care. Run fucking anything. I don't do it again. Yeah, all the photos of her with the dead bodies and shit. Now that stuff was creepy as hell.
Yeah, I think they played it well, and I think that's why I still sort of enjoyed what was going on, even though, we've seen something like this before, what it's kind of surrounded with and the way that they played it, the way they shot some of the stuff that they did with her, the way that, as you said, the photos and posing with the bodies and shit, it was all pretty creepy. So
yeah,
I was happy with that.
Yeah, so was I. And just the bit where she attacks, is it Christy?
Yeah.
And just basically chews her face and she comes back looking horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That wasn't even the worst part of it.
Definitely shoot me if that's happened to me. Definitely.
Mate, when Christy walked back into the house, I just about fucking vomited when I saw the screen. The special effects people again working overdrive. I was just like, oh, God.
Because the whole cheek's hanging off.
You poor thing.
Yeah, definitely blow my brains out.
Especially when they start saying we don't have painkillers and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, like you're looking at it going, that's horrendous. And then they're making you think about the pain and all that. You're like,
you got nothing.
Squirming.
I mean, go and get me a bloody a block of heroin.
You're telling me we don't even have
a bag of cocaine.
Don't even have a fucking couple of Panadol, apparently. I'll take Panamax. I'll take anything. Just give me something.
Look, are you telling me not one of you rich fuckwits hasn't got a small baggie of cocaine somewhere? I mean, come on. Give me a bit of that. Jesus.
Yeah, do something. Well, Afra managed to stumble across a fucking mushroom. Get outside. Numb the senses a little bit there.
That was a really cool sequence too, where she was kind of tripping and you see the gentleman standing behind her. And all these white parts of his costume are all sort of purple. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool actually.
Cons, I didn't have too many negatives.
Well, I actually still had a couple of positives there.
All right.
I actually dug that they did a little bit of kind of tried to give a bit of a nod to a little bit of meta work, I suppose, where you come into the everyone talking together and they're essentially doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
This little sequence where they're saying, Vincent's saying, well, it can't be Afro unless she's on roids.
Yeah.
And then it's they're talking about who was there and who wasn't and stuff like that. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I liked a little nod to that sort of thing. I also, again...
I was taking notes.
I don't know. I got a little... I got a little chuckle out of Vincent when they're talking about Christy and he's like, you telling me she didn't know Seamus was gay? They keep rubbing it in that everyone else seemed to know that he was gay and this bloke that's just turned up on the island's like, you telling me she didn't know he was gay? Yeah. Well, I had to have a little bit of a laugh at that. But yeah, that was it for me. That was the likes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pyro. List the cons for me.
My only dislike was, you're getting attacked. I understand the girl's not 13, she's 18, but she's a midget. There's not much of her. And she's chewing your face off. Look, you're fucking hoiking her across the room.
You're probably getting a couple of, you might even get a 2-piece in before she jumps on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows what comes of that, like you see what can happen there. I agree. I thought that was a little bit hard to
She's kind of lazy.
I guess they had set Christy up as this kind of I don't know. The last couple of episodes sort of broke her a little bit. And the revelation that Afra, supposedly what she was kind of hanging on to, finding out that was all bullshit. You know, there was that at play. They'd kind of set her up as the gentle kind of mothering person amongst the group. Like, so I can sort of understand it, but yeah, I would have liked a little bit more. You know, get a couple of shots in or something, and just go down fighting, I suppose.
Yeah. That was my one big problem, is it just felt like she just kind of succumbed. There wasn't much to it at all.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else?
Just a couple. No Cronenberg. I mean, that's a big downer.
No Cronenberg.
Thankfully, the episode was pretty good outside that, but I just need my little fix every episode.
Where's Cronenberg? Where was he?
And who he's going to lay. Oh, I don't know. Still in the bed, apparently. And that's my other dislike. They still haven't brought Spencer down. They actually said it. We've been talking about that since episode 2. And somebody decides to mention, oh, fuck, we still haven't brought Spencer down.
But didn't they? Didn't they go up there and he's not there? His body was gone.
I don't know. Well, they actually said it in this time around. We still haven't brought Spencer down. So
I'm positive.
Shit, that's
I'm
4
pretty
episodes
sure.
now.
I'm pretty sure they went upstairs to check and find him, and he was gone. His body was gone.
No, okay, he might still be walking around, mate.
Oh fuck, mate! I told you.
They definitely said it this time around. They said we still haven't brought Spencer down, and then when they're putting bodies in there, that's what they're referring to, right?
Yeah, they definitely said, "Oh, no one's gone and collected him." So that bloke has been.
Well, were you still flicking through pages of reports saying this is paint?
No. The thing is, are you telling me that bloke's fucking body's been sticking the joint up for a couple of days?
Yeah. Well, it was the end of episode 1, right? So 5 episodes worth of
stink.
Nobody's gone to check.
That place reeks of death. Then, fucking hell! I know it already.
Well, nobody decided to. No, they're still not certain that he was murdered.
Well, the Cronenworm fell out of me. I think.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the Cronenworm fell out of me, so that's
currently inhabiting who we don't know. We're going to talk about that in the theories. It looks like they had a fresh shave and started to rot.
All right, okay. You got any more dislikes other than the fact that Cronenberg's been sticking the place up for a few days?
No, that was pretty much it. I thought it unravelled fairly well. Early on, I was thinking as soon as Afra started doing what she was doing at the start of the episode, I was like, oh, okay, well, I was thinking it was going to go a couple of ways based on what we'd seen, but then the way they played it out with the backstory, I was pretty happy with how it all came out through the episode. So.
Agreed. Theories. What do you got, Jared? You got anything fresh? Or are you playing with any? Are you toying with any of your theories?
Okay. So obviously, I've won a little bit of favour from my one screen PowerPoint last week that just said Afra on it. I didn't elaborate much further than that to the higher ups, but they're looking at me going, "You're 2 for 2, pal." They're going, "Yep." Just forget about all the other shit that I've talked about the last few weeks.
Yeah,
but I am actually thinking, based on the behaviours and the shit that he's saying, that it is going to be Theo.
Look, I've got an interesting take on that.
Right. Okay. Are you talking? Okay. It's your turn. Okay. You're in the presentation room.
Yeah.
The bosses are listening.
I've come with a full PowerPoint presentation, not a one slider like you.
I quickly stand up and say, listen, I'm 2 for 2 and it's paint, confirmed. And then I sit down.
Remember how I told you that I think that the gentleman is Vincent, but not this guy.
But real
Vincent. I believe that the real Vincent has been on the island the whole time. And I still believe it. I still believe that's the case. Because once again, nothing that told me that, it was anyone else. But I think his accomplice might be different. I think his accomplice might be Theo.
So are you saying that Afra, they're going to do a little bit of a twist next episode and she's not involved?
I don't think that she's the killer. I don't think she's involved. My theory that I kind of posited very briefly was, is it possibly Afra and the bloke that was in, how she was making the video to that whatever bloke it was about the money, on the phone. Yeah. Is he there? Is he turned up?
Well, that would seem to that would seem to fit with someone like Vincent.
Yeah.
That he just shows up.
And that could be the case, but
there's ways to go. Look, I don't think it's going to be someone that we haven't seen. So I don't think I'm going to go against what you're saying about a Vincent, an unseen Vincent.
Yeah.
And the fake Vincent. I still wouldn't be surprised at all if the Vincent we've got there is not actually Vincent, and we find out that something's different along the line. But I just don't think that he's.
Could it be that, as you say,
I just don't think they're going to bring in an unknown party at this point.
Yeah, no, look, I understand that. I just keep clinging to it because I'm going back to what I said in the last episode, which was they've showed us something in the first episode, and then we've forgotten about it, and it's going to come back.
But we haven't. That's the thing. This is the thing. I don't think we've forgotten about it. I don't think.
No, but they've misdirected us by saying that Vincent has appeared after 30 years. The misdirection is that that guy's not Vincent.
I don't think that's misdirection because we're still talking about whether this bloke is Vincent or not. I mean, that's still at the front.
Yeah, but I reckon he's not Vincent.
Thing.
He's done nothing.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be.
He's done absolutely nothing to tell me he's Vincent.
But I reckon if that's not Vincent, I don't think they're going to bring a Vincent in that we haven't seen. I reckon it's more likely if that's not Vincent that the real Vincent's dead or something like that. I would be a little bit disappointed if they brought in someone and they unmasked him and we're like, well, that's a face we don't recognise.
And we've got no one else because they're all being killed off. So we can't have the old classic of we saw this person in the first episode and they disappeared. They just had him in the background or they had him as a small part and they left. And it turned out it was them.
No, I still think it's going to be
nobody.
I still think it's going to be someone that's left.
I can't get...
I just don't think... I don't know why they would bring in somebody and say this is someone we haven't seen. Yeah, we've heard the name of the character over and over. I just don't think they're going to bring in an actor, and I think they're going to do an unmasking and it's going to be someone that we know. That's the only reason I'm saying I don't think the theory that you're tossing out is implausible at all. I think it's actually, it's something that they're still playing with, absolutely. But I just don't. There's something in me that's just saying I don't think they're just going to reveal somebody that we don't know.
See, my problem with the Afra one, although it makes good sense, is that would be a huge letdown. The fucking 13-year-old who turned out to be 20 and had an accomplice who's the guy who turned up as a fake kidnapped brother. It works, like it definitely works.
Do you think they're going to bring? Would you be less disappointed if they showed someone that you've never seen?
If they could successfully explain why and have the accomplice, successfully, it was a successful way of showcasing why the accomplice was doing it, why they were doing it, I might jump on it. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I don't particularly like the way it would play out.
I just think that makes it harder.
It does.
I mean, the whole thing is if you show us somebody that was there the whole time and then give us an explanation that's good, I think that's just going to be better than if they show up and say someone that we haven't seen's been doing it the whole time. And I'm not saying that what you're saying is a bad idea. I don't think it is at all. I think. And like I said, I think they're still playing with that. I think there's still things to come out about Vincent and who he is.
Yeah.
Or who the Vincent that we have on the island is. And again, I'm not convinced that he's Vincent yet.
No.
I know we've been going back and forth on that. I know I've flipped and flopped a little bit, but I'm still not convinced that that's, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's not him. I just don't think that taking the mask off someone and then us going, who's that? And then explaining it, I don't think that's the way to go. Not saying, look, you might be 100% correct here. I just don't think they'd do it.
I guess I'm looking at it more and more and thinking we seem to be just running out of options that would make good sense. And I'm concerned that after playing with us and toying with us so well for the entire series, that they'll get to something and it'll be like, oh, that's it, is it?
Yeah.
Because
that's always the danger. Right?
We are running out of characters. We are running out of things that it could potentially be. And although Afra's switch here that we find out that she's on the dodge, I just don't know whether that really holds enough weight to be a reason behind it. And one of the things that keeps making me think about...
I'm not saying that's a reason. I still think if she is an accomplice, I mean, we could turn around next episode and they could kill her in the opening minutes.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the show that's been quite good. That they've been toying with the expectations.
But I don't think they're going to have her as like the mastermind.
No, God,
by doing what they did, if they have her involved, I think she's going to be being puppeted as well.
Yeah, she's definitely an accomplice. She's definitely not the killer.
If next week starts and it's not that she's high as a kite and he's actually stabbed her and not grabbed her by the hand or something like that, which is still a possibility, and this is, as we said, this is why I'm enjoying the show, because even though I had an eye on her because of the way that she just wasn't doing anything, and I didn't see a good reason for her to be there other than we're going to reveal something, I'm still not convinced that next week it's not going to be that she's not going to be killed very early. And that's why I'm enjoying it. But yeah, look, the more I'm looking at it, we keep saying Theo's really obvious.
Yeah. You're thinking
but he keeps doing things. He keeps doing things. Well, I was just, for so long now, I've been saying it's too clear. Like, it couldn't be Theo. They're just, everything points to him, right? Like, the things that he's doing, the whole art exhibition thing that his mum did to him, carrying the weight and whatever. But he just keeps saying things and doing things on camera where I'm like, it's not going to be him, is it? Like I spoke about last week, that dropping lines like it's really hard to tell who's good and bad and whatever.
Yeah.
That sort of shit continued this week, where there was a lot of comments and body language that are just on the nose. Like the comment about, he almost starts giggling when he talks about his mum doing the only poetic thing she's done in her life.
Yeah.
When she's been fucking stabbed to her art exhibition. He's the one that starts saying, one of us could have snuck out last night. And he kind of gets this sheepish look. And that whole conversation, he's starting to hinge on this really kind of like off the wall sort of shit, which we've been seeing a little bit from Vincent.
Yeah.
So I could be being sucked right in here, but I'm looking at it now and I'm going, I think they might actually be going to do that.
Well, you know what?
And I hope I am being sucked in, but yeah.
The sequence where he let Mum, he cut Mum loose, and then he cut Florence loose only to jam her onto the art installation thing. That kind of says something that pointed me more at Theo again. He deliberately released her so he could really fucking stick it to her. You know, he didn't want to just leave her there to die quite slowly. He wanted to fucking jam her onto, and then he says that line of poetic things she's done. So it sort of pushed me back to Theo as well. I mean, fuck, mate. I've been on Theo since about episode 3. I would be slightly disappointed if it was him too.
Yeah, it's just everything's breaking that way for the past 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah, and I would be too. I thought they were leading us down the garden path there, and they may still be doing that. But I guess so, maybe let's reframe the conversation a little bit. If it turns out that it is Theo, where do you think your sort of enthusiasm levels for the season will have finished up?
Oh, they'll still be all right. And it does depend on what his reason is. I mean, I will have pretty much picked it if he does say, well, you held me accountable for my brother's kidnapping, and I chose to take revenge. Well, okay.
Yeah.
But is it a really solid way to end it? I don't know. But what is? I mean, fuck, we're throwing around theories left, right, and centre, and none of them feel greatly. No one's really enthusiastic about any of them.
No. You know what? I think maybe a few more characters left on the table mightn't have been such a bad thing at this point.
Yes. Cronenberg, bring him back. He's alive.
Well, we're still saying he's on the table. We haven't ruled him out yet.
Well, fuck. I certainly haven't. I've been sitting on him for the whole time, but I just think that would be stupidity.
If it is Theo, I am hoping they're going to pull the rug still.
Yeah.
And even if it is Theo, as you said, the how it ends up is going to how we feel the season goes out is going to very much be determined by what his reason is and what's going on behind the scenes. And there still seems to be a lot to play out there. There's still a fair bit to play out there. So, yeah, all in all, look, I've had a bit of, to be honest, I've had a blast with this season. I think it's been the most enjoyable by a fair margin. But as we're heading down that direction, I'm just kind of looking at, as you said, if it's Theo, I'll be a little bit disappointed because it's been clear for a few episodes. If it is an unknown, if it is a Vincent that we haven't seen, I'll be okay with that, but I'll be a little bit kind of like, I don't know about someone we haven't seen being under the mask. That kind of takes away a bit of the fun of trying to pick who it is a little bit.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm still hoping they've got I'm still hoping they've got one or two swerves left up the sleeve that are going to really kind of go out with a bang. Because if they do, it's going to be. I mean, I'm hoping to God that they get another season because this one's been great fun.
Yeah, agreed. So I'm hoping they have a bit of swerve in them as well, a little twist or two that we can go with that'll finish it up just nicely. But overall, I've been happy with the season.
Like Cronenberg didn't actually require his heart, still hanging around in the bunker.
Oh yeah,
ready to be unveiled.
That would be an interesting.
I planted that bird shit, and you all fell for it.
Correct. And that is episode 6 covered off on. 2 episodes to go, Jared. Surely we get some sort of clarity, potential clarity next episode. Whittles it down to what the final sort of decisions could be and who is under the mask. But you'll have to wait until next week. But until then, take it easy, everyone, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.